In 2011, I had the opportunity to spend the first several months serving as an intern at Faith Home Honduras. It is during that time that I was introduced to a place called Nueva Esperanza. That was pretty much a government holding facility for abandoned children waiting to be placed in private children's homes throughout the country. I soon learned that a lot of the children never really were placed in private children's homes, and that it also became home to 10 special needs boys. Juvencio, Jason, Hugo, Valentin, Adon, Alexis, Christian, Ronaldo, Yosemir, and Jesus. My time was soon up in 2011, and it would be more than a year until I would visit Nueva Esperanza for Christmas in 2012. During that time, I was visiting Faith Home on furlough from language school in Guatemala. I remember that day so vividly as I entered their room and Martha Kelly stood outside praying over these so very special boys. It was March of 2013 before I returned and started hosting teams for Faith Home. And Nueva Esperanza was pretty much always on the team's agenda to drop off supplies and visit with the many children that were there waiting to be sent on. I somehow would always find myself in the upper right back corner of the facility with these 10 boys. That is where the bond and relationship really continued to nurture and grow. In January of 2014, I started collaborating with Jorge and Tara Garcia's ministry, and it just so happened that their ministry was strongly involved in Nueva Esperanza and meeting the needs of the children who called it home. From January 2014 till October, I could be found at least 2 days a week at Nueva Esperanza soaking up some fun with the boys. It was during this time that Yosemar and Jesus were placed in foster families, which eventually have turned into their forever families. In October of 2014, the Honduran government overhauled the child care system of Honduras and closed down all government child care facilities, and Nueva Esperanza was on that list, which would leave 8 special needs boys homeless. As the other 75 children or so were placed in private children's homes throughout the country, Juvencio, Jason, Hugo, Valentin, Adon, Alexis, Ronaldo, and Christian were shipped across town to another government facility for older girls. By the time the boys were transferred to this facility, the best description I can give is really just hell on earth. The remaining residents were severely disabled women with all types of life difficulties. There was no staff left, and the staff that was there was not trained for such a task. The boys gradually settled into the facility, and our family grew to include Giovanni and Giovanni, but it was not a home. In the prior weeks, it had fallen upon Jorge, Tara, and myself to find what we were hoping to be their forever home. Meeting after meeting, phone call after phone call, no one was willing to accept these boys so they could have a home. With only days to spare before the government was to completely shut down the facilities, one place was willing to talk to us about the possibility of opening their doors. On December 18th, 2014, after a couple of days of quick renovations, Senderos de Amor welcomed the boys to become part of the Senderos family. Life at Senderos was not always an easy road, but God provided a perfect place for the boys to land and to be loved on. In September of 2015, I parted ways with Jorge and Tara to work with us to take a small sabbatical and try my hand at teaching during that time as well. The main thing learned during that sabbatical, I'm not a teacher, especially a math teacher. But during this time, the boys continued to thrive and grow at Senderos. On February the 29th, 2016, Christian got himself a new body so he could walk and talk for the first time. It was during this time as well that Dario and Danilo came to join our family at Senderos. By March, I was done with the teaching experience and ready to step into advocating for the boys on a daily basis. On April the 22nd, my life was changed forever. Jonathan Josue Caballero joined our family and impacted it greatly. It wasn't until June when I met Doña Norma that my fire was rekindled and the door was open for Jonathan Josue to start going to school. August the 11th, after preparing and planning, Jonathan Josue finally had his first day of school at ISEE, and by the 18th of the same month, Juvencio had been enrolled as well. 1 month later, on September the 19th, Dario started his own track to study at ISEE. In late 2016, we added another family member, Dago, to the Senderos family. Our former family members who had went on to live with the Forever family received his reward and a new body. Jesus, at the age of 8, finished his race in the care of his Forever home. By the first week of February, Jonathan Josue and Dario and Juvencio had started their second year of school at IASEE. In the fall of 2017, our family once grew again, with Josue arriving to join the Senderos family. When February of 2018 rolled around again, it was time to be back at school. This time, Josue was going to go with him. After several setbacks, Josue finally started school in May of that year, and by the grace of God, all 4 boys finished the school year. It is my wish to tell you that in the next couple of weeks, Jonathan Josue, Juvencio, Dario, and Josue will be heading back to school. But due to some changes out of my control, this will not be happening. Juvencio, Jason, Hugo, Valentin, Adan, Alexis, Ronaldo, Giovanni, Dario, Danilo, Jonathan Josue, Dago, Josue, and Giovanni will be and have been moved to a new Forever home in the southern part of Honduras. I have visited this home before, and where they are going, it is absolutely amazing. I am beyond thrilled that my boys will have the possibility to continue growing and developing there. With that said, my inner fatherness is coming out, and I just don't want my boys to be moved 5 hours away from home. Over the past 4 years, I have prayed diligently that God would open doors for me to open a Forever home, or that God would open a door for something else bigger than our wildest dreams. Well, you get what you ask for. We serve a God of more than enough. And God has answered my prayers. And while in the middle of my selfish pain, I stand amazed and praise God the Father, as He has provided a wonderful opportunity for my boys to thrive and grow. In the following weeks and months, I covet your prayers as I grieve, and I seek the Lord and prepare for the future of what is in store for Walk by Faith mission. I am praying and exploring other possibilities of new partnerships located here in San Pedro Sula, but I will definitely be making trips soon to the south to visit my boys and see how they're adapting to their new living situation.